intuition, because it's that energy, it had to have some positive to go along with the negative in order for the balancing act to take place that they call the orbiting of the earth.
Right.
It got to be in perfect balance. This is
Right.
the pulling on the tides.
Right. Man. Family, tell me this ain't some interesting shit here, y'all. Wow. All right. Last question, Rod. I swear this is the last one. What was your thoughts? What did when all right, we in so-called 2024 now. When 2012 came around, how did you look at that? How did you interpret this whole 2012? And because you started out the year in the golden age talking about that. How did you interpret this all the 2012 talk when it was going down, Rod?
They was discussing the Mayan calendar as the cause because it ended in 2012, right? The irony of it is the 1776 conjure of the blood of Crispus Attucks expired July the 4th, 1976. The problem was the War 1812 gave them an extension into the year 2012 because the tribes took the Dirty Moors back to bloody war, and they wasn't supposed to do that. We were supposed to educate ourselves out of the condition. So the dates was telling me that the contract can be um, refused after the Mayan calendar goes back to its next cycle, which is the next time it come to an end. We'll be having a different conversation about something different then, Brother Rich, but it'll look similar to what we're doing now.
Right. Right. Somebody just reminded me, somebody in the chat, because they brought up Terrence Howard, and I forgot to ask you one of the things Terrence Howard, not only on Joe Rogan, but one of his main talking points is him talking about nature's curves and how there's no straight lines. Now, I was taught, and a lot of us was taught about the Platonic solids, and those are the building blocks of life. What's your thoughts of him saying all that's bullshit? They didn't take into consideration ether and other elements, and that there's no such thing as straight lines, the Platonic solids, whatever. Everything is curvature. What's your thoughts of him talking about that?
That's correct. That's what they say in the nation. That's all wise, right, and exact.
Yeah.
Right. The science is okay. If you look at the Platonic solids, this is impressions in the two-dimensional description. But if you can turn it into a 3D image, it won't be the same. This is when they call it, when you can do it in your brain, they call it activating your holographic memory. That's what Nikola Tesla did. So you examine it not from the two-dimensional, which is on the paper, or the one-dimensional. You now can examine it in 3D. Once you see it in 3D, it'll activate a frequency in the brain. All of those symbols do that. But even like the Holy Sephira, we look at it as a flat tree. But when you look at it as a three-dimensional projection, you begin to download more data in your understanding of how it works. And it'll carry a frequency that activate certain energies in your chromosomes.
Indeed. Yeah, man. Listen, man, I would love to have a talk. Everybody keeps telling me to get Terrence Howard on the show. I would love to have a brother. I talked about it in January, having a brother on the show. So if anybody knows the brother, I would absolutely love to have the brother on the show and kick it with the brother. Have him and Rod on the show. So yeah, if anybody knows Terrence, man, I would love to have a conversation and talk to the brother. You know, definitely. Oh man, Rod, man, this man, shit, man, this some powerful shit here, man. This some powerful. You know, let me ask you this. What do you think about? Because you talk a lot about the divine feminine energy, and sometimes let me just use it as an example. Sometimes when we see things happening, we think it's a conspiracy theory, and it may be universal synchronicity. So say you say a certain word, and as you say a certain word, the time on the clock says 11:11. some people will be like, oh shit, he said that 11:11. Rod is a Mason. He's trying to do this. And it has nothing to do with that. You was just in perfect alignment with nature, and you happen to say a certain thing at a certain time, and it just aligned perfectly. It was like synchronistic or whatever. There's also something where we think a lot of things, we say everything is a distraction. This is a distraction. This is a distraction. I'm wondering, say the same way we get it wrong sometime with everything being a conspiracy, are we wrong sometimes when we call everything a distraction? And what I'm talking about is this situation with Diddy and Cassie, and the majority of the world viewing him kicking, stomping, throwing Cassie on the floor, on the floor. And a lot of people was disgusted by that. Do you think that was a distraction, or do you think that has a higher purpose to it for that to be displayed to the entire world?
Listen, all things must be exposed in the coming of the new age. The age of Aquarius is the age when all of the dirty secrets that they had is going to be exposed. As far as it being a distraction, if it's a celebrity name on it, it's a script and it's part of a distraction that's put in our face. As to the same with the politicians, is a distraction. It's a false narrative, and now they're using special effects and CGI in order to tell false narratives to occupy the mind of the people. Well, you got to look at the motive. It's always in the courts when they talking about who committed the crime. They're looking for means, motive, and opportunity. Right? That's MMO. That's mom in the anagram flip. So the data comes in as a piece of information that ties to other information you already have. When the connection is made, you see the alignments. Right. And that don't mean that don't make you part of any of the brotherhoods. It just make you know how to read the same thing that they using in order to keep the people blind to what they doing in their face behind their back.
Indeed. Man. All right. Well, with that being said, man, listen, Rod, man, I want to thank you once again for coming on the platform, man. I want everybody to make sure you're going to support the brother Rod Hayes. Let me, the brother. What's your Instagram? Because I know you're on Instagram and Facebook.
My Instagram is the Sick8, TheSikape. To help everyone, soldiers and Illuminati are present everywhere.
Oh, that's what
this is what it sounds like when we ride on our enemies.
On your Tupac shit. You on your Amaru shit. You on your Amaru shit.
That's that Negus, the Negus energy.
That's what that is?
The Tupac Amaru. The monkey watched the serpent. Monkey see snake. Monkey don't never forget where snake be. Right? Snake be in the bushes. Monkey know where snake at because he seen the snake. The symbolism is the snake is the serpent wisdom. The Legba is doing a war dance to inform the Ogun what has to be done if you want to correct the problem. Right? So the whole science is playing out in the public domain in everybody's face of the redemption process to recover everything back that belonged to the earthborn. Right? But they don't know what they're looking at. So to them, they're just being entertained. But the rest of us that know that something is being said because something got our attention. Right? When certain stuff get our attention in a certain way, it tells us to keep following that information that's going somewhere. But the regular person is being entertained, but you following code flips. And this is how a person can say, I guarantee you I sparked the brain that changed the world. Because all I got to do is put in my work, right? Expose the boy king to what it seems like perilous danger, and you're going to make the great defender rise up to his aid. right? Played out in the movie Black Panther when T'Challa fell over into the water and Mbike picked him up. He got him in there with him. The whole time they thinking he dead, right? And then when do they find out? His mama and his sister come looking for aid and assistance from the king of the gorillas. They trying to save the family from the tyranny of the one from the culture that don't understand the culture. That's gonna end up ruining everything. Right. So it play out in Hollywood so they can say, see, I told them, but they thought it was a joke.
Right.
Right. And then it's the same with reading news broadcasts as well.
Yeah.
The channel that you get the story from is the code. In Detroit, anything come on Eyewitness 7, I can flip codes out of if I turn on that channel.
Shit. Man.
I avoid TV at all costs.
Yo, you do. You avoid, yeah. You don't mess with the TV, huh?
The only thing I watch is wrestling because I get flips out of it because I got a passion for it, so I can read the energy in order to tell me what's going on in real life.
Damn. From wrestling.
Yeah. I can talk through the flips, right? Like I might get a code to say a backflip, right? In wrestling, it's a hip toss, right? Or a suplex. Right. So when I use that, I can tie it into the flip code to see who flipped the code that I'm catching, where they flip it from, and what is the code telling me.
That's some hell of a code breaking there, Rod.
Yeah. It's everything is wired with a signature from nature, no matter how much man try to take nature out of his production. As long as it's produced by man, it's going to be infused with an energy signature derived from nature.
Right.
So if the oracle reader can read the oracle, he can see no matter what they do, the nature's energy attached to the function that the man put out. Whatever he did, whether he built a building or whether he built a dam or whether he blew some shit up, it's going to leave an energy signature. You don't look to the past to relive it. You look to it to avoid what you didn't like. Otherwise, there ain't no purpose of looking back. You got to see what you look back and say, okay, I tried that, it didn't work, throw that away. I tried this, it worked real well, put this at the top of the list. Until you evaluate a history where you can read the energy that tells you a message, just strips off all of the entropy that gets you right back to where the message came from in order to solve the problem. All right. Now you're talking about Donald J, and you referencing his son, and you just said the guy in the movie got a twin. Right?
Yeah.
You know, Donald J is a Gemini, right?
Go ahead. Damn, I know that.
Gemini, look him up. Look up, pull another tab up and put in his birthday. Make sure you're Gemini before I go any further.
Yeah, I got you. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This one to get good.
Real Most High, because there's some scientists that call themselves gods, but y'all don't even know. Everybody that's used the term God don't even know what it means. God mean a troop. A troop. God is a malformation of the word Gad, which is one of the tribes of Judah. Go look it up in your Genesis. The 12 tribes of Judah. And they saw a troop, and they named him Gad. Now go back to your New Testament. And he asked the devil, who are you? And he said, we are legion, for we are many. You went from Hebrew to Greek with the same shit, the same corrupt motherfucker. The same one. And he been deceiving you all this time, and y'all won't even try to lift yourself up when y'all capable, because if I'm not here, the ones capable, the overwhelming majority is trapped in fear. So, what do? I ain't scared. I don't walk around with security. I don't walk around with a police escort. I didn't walk every street. Every city I've been to, I don't go to the suburbs. I go to suburbs, but I don't go there to go to the suburbs because I want to go where my people struggling at so I can see what the problem is so I can figure out how to fix it because ain't nobody fixing it. So I'm listening to everybody crying about why they shooting them in the back. Why they shooting unarmed black men, but they don't tell you they shooting unarmed white men the same, just as bad. They doing it just, but they don't tell y'all because they want to trick y'all. They want to trick y'all into getting so mad that y'all disregard the code of righteousness and y'all launch an attack on the enemy and y'all can give him another chance to reign. That's not finna happen. I earned every fucking thing I got. I went to prison and did 16 and a half years. Got out of prison, built my shit from dirt. All the shit I have, I earned. Nobody gave me shit except one motherfucker that wasn't my parents and my brother and my sisters. And everybody that looked like a brother or a sister ain't, y'all got to realize that too. Everybody call themselves family, not family. Some of them motherfuckers is just relative. Relative to the gain that they can suck out of the righteousness of somebody in their own upbringing. They want to suck the blood out of you. At your detriment to their benefit. They divide your shit up before they even see the outcome. That's how cold. Divide my shit up. Go ahead. You won't win. You fighting an unstoppable, undefeatable force. The whole house of cards will come crumbling down on your back. And so, the code of righteousness say, if a man make an error, right? A man make an error and discover his error. He make amends for that error in truth. What do that mean? If I do something, let's say I do something to my cousin John, who watching, right? Let's say I step on his feet. I look him in his eye. My fault, cuz. I ain't mean it, man. I love you, man. I ain't mean, hurt your feet. Oh, cuz, you all right. I forgive you. That's righteous to righteous communication. But let's say he had a different disposition or a different outlook, and I stepped on his foot, and he not righteous. And I say, excuse me, cuz, I ain't mean step on your foot. Man, watch where the fuck you going, man. It's not righteous. Because he can't accept the sincere apology, and he can't accept the redemption. Right? So, let's look into this and see what's what. Let's look into it. Let's check it out. And see who righteous and who not according to the code of righteousness. Everybody that say they love you don't really love you. They love what you can do for them. They love what they can get from you. And they love to suck your blood dry. And they love to gain at your detriment. That's not righteous. It's not just and it's not fair. And for too long, this has been going on without anybody having the skill set to combat foolishness, ignorance, and wickedness. So in order to correct the issues that we see before us, I have to learn how to walk in righteousness. That don't mean I ain't gonna fall. But if I hurt anybody, I didn't sincerely made amends or even attempted to, even if they told me they agreed and lied in their heart. That's a corruption of their own heart. That has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with me. You see? And so people point out various things that they don't understand as insanity. The mind is vaster than you can possibly imagine. The mind is big as this universe if you know how to use it. We all learn, but we can only rise to our own level. The goal is that over time, everybody can rise to the highest levels. to the highest levels of righteousness, consciousness, and self-awareness, that we all can experience what love feel like, how it work in truth. Not that deceptive shit they call love. That's not love. Love don't smile in your face and stab you in the back 7 times. That's not love. Love don't smile in your face and wait for you to go to sleep and drop a brick on your head. That's not love. Love don't hear people talking bad behind your back, knowing that you're trying to do everything righteous, and don't defend what they know to be righteous. They automatically classify themselves as walking among the wicked. They on their own. Now, there come a time where you have the opportunity to show compassion and mercy when you're in a righteous position, right? So you got this opportunity to show these people righteousness and mercy, and you have 2 options. You can allow them to pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, or you can dig them out the shit that they're trying to push you in. Well, considering that I had to hang out there in 122-degree heat until C3 and C4 finally gave way, and they told the story with the pieces all out of order, it's over for their ass. All these wicked, rotten motherfuckers about to feel the heat of the sons of righteousness at every turn. And we don't even have to kill them. We don't have to do nothing dramatic to them. We ain't got to go upside their head. All we got to do is let them answer for their own works. Let them answer for their own works. If they build a house out of feces, make them live in it. That's all. You don't have to take part in it. You don't have to participate. Leave them to their own devices. Leave them to their own devices. They will automatically resolve it themselves. They will have to deal with the consequences of the condition they create. So, people create conditions for other people, right? They create this condition in order to deal with other people. Let me show you what happened. It blow up in their face, then they want to cry. Oh, I ain't mean it. You meant it. You meant it when it applied to him. Why the fuck you don't mean it now that it applied to you? How do that work? How do that work? And it's just crazy. They don't want to earn nothing, but they want what you got that you earned. Greedy bastards. And then they think that you're too stupid to see it. Because they tell you crazy, you supposed to believe it? Because they don't understand the mind of a master? They ain't supposed to. Or else we all be the master. Just because you don't understand it don't make it an insanity. Because you understand it might make that shit sane. Sound right reasoning, logic, pure thought, self-elevation, hard work, discipline. You know? They want the reward, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to make the sacrifice. I did that. Self-sacrifice is the only form of sacrifice. It's the highest form of sacrifice you can make. It's not the only, but it's the highest form. Self-sacrifice. So when they know I'm whooping their ass all over this motherfucking planet, and they know they can't do nothing about it, and they know that they can try to prevent the rise if they can undermine it early enough. So what do? I wait till the last motherfucking minute and come in the door right when the motherfucking clock strikes 12. Y'all, just so y'all know, the doomsday clock is officially 11:59 and 59 seconds. This shit is about to pop like a pimple on a fat woman ass. And so, with that we all may rise and see a better day, let the games begin.
I love this shit. I'm cut out. I'm designed for this war shit. Even if it ain't with bombs and bullets, I can fight mentally. I can fight with the pen, you know. Because you said the pen is mightier than the sword, but never realized that the pen must be driven by a mind. A pen just laying on a piece of paper is worthless. You got to have a mind to push the pen. They forget that part. They don't tell y'all that part. The mind has to be developed. It has to be earned. It has to be work, hard work, laborious study. That's why priests stay in the temple for prolonged periods trying to reach their highest self and never make it. It's a hard fucking job. It ain't cut out for everybody, and everybody ain't cut out for it. So when you see somebody trying to do righteousness, you should try to support that. They let this divide and conquer shit go to people's head. Got them separating each other and downing each other, trying to steal each other's substance that they earn. Because the way this system is set up, Carla, and the way they have these people so deceived. Remember now, I told y'all, self-sacrifice is the highest form of sacrifice. Can y'all hear me now? My mic not muted. I'm gonna unmute it. Can y'all hear me now? We good? All right. I was just rambling while I was doing my invites anyway, so y'all ain't miss no critical information. But what I'm about to pull up, that I was saying, is my Facebook page. So my Facebook page bio haven't changed ever since I had Facebook. So the first thing we're going to do is going to go to my Facebook bio. Okay, this is the bio. Now if you see what it say, it's a works at General Motors, studied at none, right? And then it say went to Pontiac Northern High, lives in Pontiac, Michigan, from Chicago, Illinois, right? That's been my bio ever since I had Facebook. Haven't changed it, right? So they say I ain't from Chicago, and they said that I wasn't born in Cook County Jail. Well, Big Mama had me doing manual labor, right? And while she had me doing manual labor, something popped up. So I want y'all to look at this for people, because this is to show my give a fuck don't move well enough to tell you some bullshit. See where it say place of birth, Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, November 10, 1968, male child. Since they want to put my government up there, right? So this is my birth certificate. In Chicago, the only school I attended one semester of elementary at Kershaw Elementary School. I ain't gotta make none of this shit up. I'll just tell y'all the truth, and then when somebody tell you I'm making some shit up, then I'm gonna show you, right? So I was gonna save that and do it later, but Big Mama told me to put that shit out there and let the people see that when I tell them I was born in Chicago, I'm not making that shit up.
I don't have to make this shit up, right? I've been telling it. This shit has been in the old videos already about my moving from Illinois, from Chicago as a little boy, living in Pontiac and Grand Rapids, Michigan, and moving back to Chicago periodically throughout my life. Now, I can keep going with receipts on me living in Chicago. That's not even necessary. I just wanted to, Big Mama wanted me to show my birth certificate because apparently it was a question of if I was really born in Chicago. I don't have an Obama certificate. My shit is genuine and authentic, right? So, for anybody who don't know what it is, at this point, then, stay out my lane. Don't come over here fucking with me. I told y'all, anything I tell y'all, I'm going to be able to produce receipts. I got more receipts than that. That's just, right? So, all skin folk ain't kinfolk, right? But sometimes we got to show our kinfolk that we kinfolk, not skin folk, because the skin folk got them so confused they don't know the difference in the two. I'm telling the motherfucker, I'm straight up genuine. I don't have no reason to make none of this shit up. I'm not doing this for no money. That's so I can't be bought out, right? I set myself up to not need money during my transition because I knew what I was about to go through. So I took care of my business ahead of time so that my business would take care of me in the right times. Y'all don't know nothing about that shit. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, clowns. I prepared this shit properly from day one. None of these motherfucking bitch niggas gonna beat me because I'm gonna always be 2 steps ahead, right? And like I said last night, right is right and wrong is wrong. Ain't no middle ground. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If a motherfucker doing wrong, let that shit be known. See, you can't call yourself a member of the ranks of the righteous while you doing rotten ass dirty shit. Right? Don't nothing run the duck but his bill. Right? Now, I don't know what else they gonna want me to prove next. But if I tell you a duck can pull a truck, don't argue with me. Just shut the fuck up and hook that motherfucker up and watch him pull that motherfucking truck. Cause I'm not gonna tell you some shit just to be telling you some shit. I don't have to go to nobody's platform and steal material to come back to my platform and tell y'all nothing. I already did the work. So I'm extemporaneous, on Johnny on the spot. You need some information, I got the information, right? Only reason why I had to stop showing receipts because I packed all my books up. My shit in boxes and shit ready to roll out, right? Because anything I tell you, for Horace to use as a mirror. So he had the man, which was Tupac, right? Who was King Tut, which I can show y'all that on another time. And the other brother, which was Anubis. Now, there has to be some kind of simulation to Anubis in order for the order for the Obama thing to even match. So the first thing I got to do is look at the first statement I made about Obama on the feed. So let's go back to the first thing I made. The birth certificate. Now,
In order for me to be able to see, who Barack Obama is, I need a mirror. I need somebody to act as to bring attention to it to make me analyze it, or else I will look for what's important. Because it's too many little bitty things to micromanage. That's why these hits are so important. Because you have to do so many of them to come to a valid conclusion. Right? Now, let's look at this Rose. All right, we got Rosemary's Baby. Now, we all know the rose means resurrection. Mary means rebellious woman. And now we're talking about a baby. We all know that the baby of the rebellious woman, right? The baby of the rebellious woman is the widow's son, right? That's the baby of the rebellious woman. That's the widow's son. Now, we're going to write this down because you got to remember the jackal's purpose is if the Redeemer is taken out, he claims power and tears shit up. That's what he do. He claim power when the Redeemer is stopped. He claim power and he tears shit up. Right? So we looking at Barack Obama and we looking at him as Rosemary's baby. And Rosemary we know is Rose mean resurrection. So we talking about the resurrection of Mary, right? Or the resurrected Mary and her baby. So this is talking about the Madonna and child. Now, in order for Barack Obama to be the son of the jackal, he had to make a power move, or somebody had to try to push him in to make a power move for the throne. Right? Now, pointing out some anomalies. Remember, 3 things alike, but 1 different. Right here. 3 6s. Then you got 2 more 6s. Right? That's a total of 5 6s. That's 2 hits in 1. But I'm not going to count those hits. I'm going to focus on this name, Rosemary, from Rosemary's Baby. And knowing that that's the Black Madonna and child, I want to go back to another post I did. I wonder if all these is on the same. No. I'm going to go back to another post I did. Suck ass. Y'all come and do studies with me. See, I could just write this stuff in book form and I wouldn't have to do all this, but in order for me to get where I'm trying to do, they want me to do all this jumping through hoop stuff. So this is the last one I'm doing, so I'm gonna take my time and I'm gonna give y'all some heat on here. Before that. This one. This picture. Now, we talked about Jacob's ladder here. In order for the jackal to take a throne, right? Now, the 2 pillars, right? Now, this is Hiram, not raised, right? Now, the 2 pillars represent the right-hand path and the left-hand path. And then they say, as above, so below. This is telling me that some kind of way they found a back door into the ascension process. They found a way to undermine the throne. Right here. You see it? Now, why do I say that? Why do I say that they found a way to undermine the throne?
Jacob's ladder is talked about as the angels sending back and forth to heaven. Here, this is the place where you have to go when you raise yourself up. Now, you ain't supposed to be able to jump in. Now, this is in the book by Ruth Montgomery, called Strangers Among Us, where she talk about the walk-ins. This is the gate they come in. In the back of your mind, this is where they come in. It's called your subconscious. And they come in subtly. Remember it say the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field? But if you waken, if the love is strong enough and the man is wise enough, when they come through Jacob's ladder, they can't get in. Because the ark, it'll create an ark, right? And once the ark is connected, they can't get in. The archons can't get past this ladder. This is their way that they come in through the back door, right? On this side, let's see if I can blow this up bigger. Now, imagine all this taking place within your body, because that's where it's going on as an alchemical process. Now you look, you see the 7 sisters of the Pleiades. From the 7 sisters, up to the right. Then you got Osiris, the sun over here. Then you got the Queen Mother, Taweret, the 13th seat of the zodiac, looking down. Now, the Babylonian money magic taught them what they called a Jacob's ladder trick. The Jacob's ladder trick was for them to catch a person that wasn't all the way developed here, then put a snare in his woman's path here to interfere with the arcing from here to here. And on the day that he's supposed to ascend, they jump in here. Side effect. It's going to cause a stroke. It's going to cause a massive stroke. It's going to cause you to look like them people that walk around dragging half of their body. That's what happens. This is your stroke. Jacob's ladder. This is what MK Ultra was trying to backdoor the mind to get here. Right? MK Ultra was trying to use all that to get in your mind, in the back of your mind. So they split your psychology in here. And I'm trying to show you the tools they use. Like this. Right? When you go to look at old torture implements, you'll find it. We ain't going to spend too much time on that. I wanted y'all to get a good look at it. When you start looking at the stuff they use to torture people into submission, you're going to see this tool right here. As a matter of fact, you're going to see a black guy walking with it around his head. Then you got your star. You got your star right there. Let's look. This thing. Ooh, over here. All right, now, remember we was looking for the bird and we couldn't find it. Here it go right here. And there go the grip of unity. Right? Now, all of the good stuff, if you notice, is on the inside. Hiram's on the inside, but he ain't raised yet. He's still in the depths. He's still plumbing the depths right here. See the steel clothes? Look, this is the crossbones. Right? This is Hiram. This is the crossbones. Right? Look. Square. Ruler. Hammer. The 3 ruffians left him there. And they use this to dig the hole. Right? So, this the 3 ruffians represented by the 3 candlesticks, which is the 3 knocks. I was telling you, 1, 2, 3 of them put him down. It's going to take 1, 2, 3 masters to raise him back up. Right? A master that believes in unity. A master that believes in love.
and a master of being industrious, a workman, a man that's willing to work with his hands. That's what it's telling you. He want to work with his hands, love his family, and he is willing to unify across barriers. This is the perfected man that's got to be developed in here. Look, the mother, the wife, but the mother is touching the heart. The wife ain't got there yet. Remember, on the crest they have to cross, right? And in order for them to cross on the crest, then Hiram had to find a sword that goes down, right? So you remember we went and we found the sword. You found King Arthur's sword in Russia at the Round Table, from the Moorish Order of the Round Table. Then we got the ships here. This is your navigator Moors. These is the ones who got us in all of the headache right here. Now, let's go through a couple of things here. Go zoom through right quick. Okay, I already showed y'all the crown. I showed y'all the Emerald Lake, the Bronx. We looked up the name Lynn. We don't need that no more. We looked up the name Bronx. We don't need that no more. Now, what was I about to look up? Okay, so we got the boat. All right, so let's see what else on this one before I go. I'm just going to scroll through right quick. All right, now look. Boaz, the black pillar, and Joaquin, the red pillar, right? The Gemini symbol. You got her, look, the pearl on her head. This is the lady of the north. This is, says Toro. This is red, right? Now you remember the key. It got to be on here. Nope, it ain't on there. Now, it showed you the two pillars of Joaquin and Boaz. Here they go right here. Out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, right? So now it's just talking about trees, the laurel. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden. Now, among all of the people, there's one that's different. And the tree of knowledge. Now, that's two trees of good and evil, right? They ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Look, and no, I'm getting off the topic. I gotta get back to Obama, y'all. I just got scolded for getting off topic. So I'm gonna go back with that. Here we go, right there. All right, so now we go to the next post. Now, that becomes a significant picture. Now, remember Jacob's ladder, because Jacob becomes important in determining if the first question can be answered as an affirmative about Barack Obama being Rosemary's baby. Because in order for that to be true, then he would have to have a financier, a backer that would be undermining. So we're going to go through this to the next one. Okay, so from there, last night I went into that. I discovered the pillar of Boaz was this seal, right? And I noticed at the top SMU, right? Think Southern Michigan University, but look at the 13, right? And then look at the 5 sisters again, right? And then this right here is a pyramid upside down, facing down. So it really goes like this, like this.
but you would know if you don't know the sacred geometry, right? But this star, look, it got the 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. This is wings. This is bird's wings in the form of a branch or leaf, right? That you got Boaz. Boaz was one of the pillars. Then what? Then you got Hiram. Look, this is what Hiram looked like. The blood, right? Then you got your black light, white light, right? Now, these lights in this format is reversed because you're looking to get blackballed. Only one of these lights is supposed to be black. If all three of these masters confirm you with a knock, right, that gives you a pass. Now you just pass to the next level. These three masters, in my case, has given me a knock across every order. 3 masters in every order has confirmed me. Right here. So now, the other part is, they had to confirm her too. Right? Because you had to join the red and the blue lodge together. You can't just have one. But let's look at this picture a little closer. Hey, what are you doing that? Retarded ass thing. All right, now. No. Here. Look. Now remember I told y'all something in the other one was out of order? This is out of order. That's incongruent. You don't see women with 3 legs. If one of them would have been an arm, I wouldn't have been through all. But she got wings. See? But then she got the goat horn. This is Baphomet. This is Baphomet. This is the sacred womb right here. Right? But then you got the black horse. Now you got to go to Revelations to remember what the black horse was. The black horse is about that bread. Because it said he had he was measuring the wheat and the tares. That means that them flour barrels we seen, he was measuring that shit at her expense, right? And at his order. You see the lightning bolts? This in Leo. Again, that's in Leo. Right, so in Leo on one side of Boaz, that means that the other side has to be Enki. The other side got to be Enki. So now, and you look down here, look at. So this is what you call the double. That's the double eagle. With 2 heads facing, well this one both heads facing the same direction. That's an oddity. That make me want to look a little bit closer down here. Now remember I told y'all we had to find another crown, and I think I just found it. Right here. This is the Queen's crown in England. Right? This is the Queen's crown in England. This is not part of the papal crown. But I still got to put the 3 pillars of the papal crown together. But this identifies the Queen. Right? So this tells me that something dealing with the Queen is Masonic in nature. And that is under the orders of Enlil. This Enlil. And the Queen Mother working together. Right? But she ain't really working with him. I can't see what's in the middle, so I can't really tell you. And this is Sophia. This is wisdom under the shield. This Sophia, wisdom under the shield. That means that whatever this is, the war, right? The war is more important than raising the people. That's what this is saying. Now look, these exact 2 things right here. So this is telling me, out of wisdom,
the money.
And I already had claim on that land. I'm gonna show you right here. And that's why a war broke out when they got usurped. Okay, hold up. Okay. All right, hold on. I want to blow this map up. All right, now let's look at this land, this map right here. Right here. This is a map. Now, I don't know how true this map is of the empire, but I'm just using it for a synopsis of what happened with connection to Berlin Conference and all that. Can you see that map? Hold on, let me blow it up. Now, they say that this is the British Empire. Hold up. Go back. All right, this map. Where does it go? They gonna let me. Where there you go, right there. Now, keep in mind what a Mahdi was in Sudan. Now, based on the research that I had did, and I put it into that book about Queen Victoria and them being Derus, who usurped the original King George III and them family. Right? All right, so now keep in mind the British, this right here is a center point, these guys. They took this as a little center point. Brit means covenant. All right, so they said that all this red was what the land they had captured of. Now, this part of the Sudan, they had part of Egypt. That's why they invaded Egypt and started raiding the tombs in Sudan. It's a lot of people, kings that were buried in Sudan, right? With all the gold and everything, right? So what happens is King George and all his people get wiped out, and then Victoria comes into play. But when they get usurped, the Mahdi said, they ain't the real family. We ain't honoring nothing they got. We gonna break off from them. We gonna take our own land back because y'all usurpers, right? Y'all like the original people, right? And so what happens is that starts a war between Victoria military, the British, who becomes now pretty much took over.
Okay.
Mahdi.
What happened with the Mahdi was more like what happened with Baba.
Go ahead.
Right. The Mahdi, he wasn't like the ruler of the Sudan. He was a tribal leader, and the local tribes began to support him in his programs because they was effective.
Go ahead.
The Europeans was figuring they had to neutralize this guy because they can't create a need that allows the outsider to come in and offer a remedy for. Mm-hmm. He was solving the problems within the confines of the nation without ever leaving the land. Same thing Baba was doing. Mm-hmm. Right? And so they wanted to stop him. Before they sent General Gordon in 1884, they had exhausted all of the wisest generals of Europe trying to overthrow him in a 5-year stretch from 1880 to 1885. Right? They was unsuccessful because he had the support of his people, and his people recognized him as a wise elder of a clan that they all knew, acknowledged as being from the land. So they backed his play. When General Gordon came to negotiate first, he was like, fuck that. I'm not just finna run up in there like the rest of them. I'm gonna go negotiate. Mm-hmm. Right? So he sent viziers to go request a meeting, a council with Muhammad Ahmed. Mm-hmm. When they meet, Muhammad Ahmed's agenda was convert General Gordon to Islam, mm-hmm. where General Gordon's agenda was to convert Muhammad Ahmed to Christianity.
Yeah, they were Christians. King George and them were Christians, and Queen Victoria and them Catholics.
Okay, right. Catholics. So after long discussions, Muhammad Ahmed offered his respect to General Gordon. General Gordon did the same in return. The people didn't trust General Gordon because he came in with this good cop shit. So they went on and murdered this motherfucker because he deserved death for bringing death to their front door. And so when they killed him, this sets in a whole assassination plot against Muhammad Ahmed. Right? So they end up poisoning him to get him out of the picture. Right?
Because they wanted to get I believe it's something else too about that land in Sudan was why they wanted to keep claim on that land. I believe it's gold. I believe it's something to do with gold too.
OIL. Type in Sudanese oil reserve.
All right, hold on. Go ahead. Let me do it.
Remember, this is the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. One who controls the resource controls the Industrial Revolution, and the most critical resource in industrialism was the oil.
According to the oil and gas journalists, Sudan and South Sudan collectively held proven oil reserve of 5 billion barrels as of January 22. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me make a connection real quick. See, is that a lot compared to what we got? We got 4. Oh yeah, we blow them out the water, man. They got
you got to remember, this is just our reserve. They not allowed to trade our shit, so our shit just been stacking up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The New Orleans. That's why they try to do that Katrina flood down there, because a lot of the reserve is down. You
see the poverty in Mexico, right?
Uh-huh.
Type in Mexico oil reserve.
Uh-huh. Six. Oh yeah, they about the same as Sudan. 6 billion barrels.
Why they poor?
Yeah, right.
Okay, now instead of oil reserve, put in New Mexico up there. We ain't done Mexico yet.
Damn. Now Canada beating everybody out. God damn.
They can't trade it. They got the same QSIP number as America. It's the same company. It's called a bifurcated company.
Yeah, they got three times the oil reserve as America.
Mm-hmm.
Canada. Damn, now that's crazy. All right, we got Mexico up there, 6 billion. What you got next?
Okay, Mexico put in gold reserves.
All right. Mexico gold reserve was reported at 7.497 US billion. I think that is in August 2023. So I think it's US. So they got like 7.7 billion.
That's $7,497,000,000 US dollars worth of gold.
Yeah.
Okay, put in Mexico nickel reserves.
Screw you.
All this is to show you that there's no reason for anybody to be in poverty.
300 million tons. Damn, that's like 60%. Hold up. I might be reading that wrong. Let me make sure this talking about Mexico. That's a lot of damn nickel there, man. That's 300 million tons. 300 tons of nickel.
When you get done going down the mineral chart for Mexico, your mind will be literally blown. There's no reason for that poverty. El Chapo go straighten it out though. Larry told him what to do, what he had to do when he get back.
Yeah, he wanted to teach some land down there. Him and Pablo really wanted to cheat some of the land. That's what they really ain't telling you. They make these people out to be criminals. They're like, they make these people to be